John? Yeah, when we, before the meeting, or before the session, my dad told me one thing when I came in the Air Force. He said, find a senior enlisted person and, hook arms with them and they will teach you. And they did. And the impact of mentoring by a senior enlisted person, one Chief Master Sergeant, which is an Air Force E9, has resulted in my mentoring 8 to 10, I think I told you 8, but now I think about it, it's 10, other enlisted troops starting at E4 and E5 who are now E9s, because that one guy impacted me. I was able to impact others. People lead like they've been led, they love how they've been loved, and they mentor how they've been mentored. So I would say that's important. I think also, as peers, we shouldn't be competing, we should be completing. And so that means is, if I have information that can help you, I should help you, and vice versa. Because we are only as good as Jules said, some of our experiences. My experiences may be different than someone else's. And so if I have some knowledge that can help that person, I think it's important to mentor each other. But what we have a tendency to do, especially in those times of struggle, is we isolate ourselves. And I would tell you, don't do that. Talk with others. You'd be surprised what they know, who they know, the solutions, the strategies, etc.
Thank you. And I know we could go on all day, and this conversation has been stimulating, informative, and I think we want to thank our panel members. So at this time, again, we're moving right along. Okay, so thank you. Thanks, panel members. At this time, we're going to ask Miss Renee Allen, to come forward for the next portion of the program. Renee. Yeah, go ahead. Return.
Okay. Give it up once again for our panelists. Once again, I don't think we gave enough time, did we? We got to talk to that Black History Month committee. Okay, so this is the Who Am I segment, okay? So I'm just going to tell you now, the young lady who came up to speak, Juanita Mullen, if she actually answered all these questions for Army, Marines, and Coast Guard, and Navy, you guys are in trouble, okay? Because she's Air Force. She does a lot of reading. Okay. All right. So, you have prizes, right? Okay. We have prizes. So, here's how it's going to go. We're going to go really quick, right? So, if you know the answer, put your hand up. Once you acknowledge, stand up and say your answer. Now, if you say it out loud, that means you lost a prize because somebody else is going to have their hand up and they're going to get it, right? Okay. All right. So here we go. Navy. Do we have some Navy in the house? All right, Army. Y'all got a chance with this one. Okay. So Navy. And this is in theme with our senior host, Ms. Barbara Ward. Reference Congressional Medal of Honor. So I'm already giving you guys a hint. I enlisted in the Navy in 1939 as a mess attendant and worked my way up to cook. While serving aboard the USS West Virginia, I became the ship's heavyweight boxing champion. My courageous conduct and devotion to duty during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor and what... Stand up, stand up, stand up. What's the answer? Okay. All right, give him a hand clap. The reason why I said Congressional Medal of Honor, they are still trying to get the Congressional Medal of Honor for Dory Miller. Okay. All right, next, Marines. Where are my Marines? All right. See, Betty leading the charge. Okay. I was the first African-American female naval aviator in the Marine Corps and the first African-American female combat pilot in the U.S. Armed Forces. Who? Did you raise your hand? I see Betty Mosey Brown's hand up. There you go. All right. I'm serious about my rules here now. Okay. Next. We had Air Force. Air Force. All right. We got Air Force. Army, we got a chance, okay? All right. Air Force. Here we go. In 1999, I entered active duty and was selected to design and implement a new pilot screening program, ensuring the Air Force a qualified pool of candidates ready for flight training. I graduated undergraduate pilot training in April 2000 and was selected to fly the F-16, becoming one of only 2 African-American females and 50 total female fighter pilots in the Air Force at that time. Y'all got a hint? No? Okay. All right, so let me find right here. Upon completion of F-16 training, I was assigned to the 524th Fighter Squadron, Cannon Air Force Base, New Mexico. Following the tragic events of September 11, 2001, I flew numerous combat air patrol missions in support of Operation Noble Eagle, protecting the U.S. President and the critical infrastructure. In 2002 and 2003, I deployed to Kuwait, supporting Operation Southern Watch and Iraqi Freedom. I flew more, stand up. Oh. Still got it wrong. Sit down. All right. I flew more than 50 combat missions and became the first African-American female fighter pilot to fight in a major war. And she's Air Force. See, I should have told you I was put them phones up. See. Right, Juanita? We got to do more reading, less phones. Raise your hand. Come on, stand up. What is it? Go ahead. Give her a prize. Major Christina Thumper Hopper. All right, so where we at now? We did Marines. Army. Only Army. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, Army. Okay. Do we have Army in the house? Yeah. All right, okay. All right, so I'm not going to read all of this. I try to say. Okay, on October the 25th, 1940, I became the first African American to serve as a general officer in the United States Army. No. It was. Go ahead. Give that lady a prize. You did good. Thank you. I knew that would get you. Okay, so this is a good one. Coast Guard. Okay. I just got the signal. Round it up. Okay. All right. So I won't go too far, but I'm going to say let me do this one. Do we have any Coast Guard? Okay, let me just go back to finish. All right, finish. Okay, let's do this one. Let's do another Air Force, since Air Force supported this program by being our senior host as well as our MC. So in honor of Ms. Ward and Mr. May, this is Air Force again. I was born in Tuskegee, Alabama on September 7th, 1945, and earned my commission as a distinguished graduate of the University of Arizona's Air Force ROTC program in 1968. In 2002, I became the first African American to hold the post of Director of the Air National Guard. I assumed this command following a flying career that included more than 300 combat missions in Southeast Asia and 4,000 flying hours. I retired in 2006, but also served as a Texas Adjutant General during my distinguished 38-year military career. Yes. And can you get the two-parter? Also, my father was the Air Force first African-American four-star general. You don't know his father, but you know him? Yeah, there you go. Okay, make sure you give her a prize. Okay. Thank you all. No, we got to do the presentation.
Presentations? All right. We'll ask our panel members to come back up. And Dwayne, join us. Dwayne's presenting these certificates of appreciation to our panel members, and they each read, "In grateful recognition of your continuing service and support, we hereby present you with this certificate of appreciation for giving of your time and talents as a panelist for the 2018 Black History Month program with the Department of Veterans Affairs." All right.
Thank you, sir.
Dwayne, it's all yours.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I won't stand between you and the food. I'll just be up here for a second. Good afternoon. Thank you again for coming out to the Black History Month program. Director Ward, Ms. Pharisee, other senior leaders, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, special guests. The Black History Month is an annual celebration of achievements of African Americans at a time of recognizing the central role that they played in our nation's history. The story of Black History Month begins in 1915, half a century after the 13th Amendment abolishing slavery in the United States. Few could have imagined African Americans' future contributions to science, technology, engineering, math, education, the arts, and yes, the military, which has been recognized by the global community. We owe it to ourselves and those who follow in our footsteps to learn about those Black African Americans who made history, who served against odds, who laid the foundation for the diverse military we have today. African Americans have been serving in our country's military since the Revolutionary War, and in many cases with heroism and courage all too often unrecognized. This month is important and an honor to recognize those African Americans who have contributed to the shaping of the defense of this great nation. Our future is shaped by our past. The African American History Month gives us the opportunity to learn about those stories, many of which we heard today. At this time, we'll sing a song that we normally sing, the Black National Anthem. So before we conclude today's program.
Lift every
voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening star.